Please don't pull out and crush me. Please. Thank you. All right. I've ridden a handful of times. Numerous would be an exaggeration. I've ridden a handful of times since the last video I uploaded. I got my bike in, got the first service done on it, and you know, now I can abuse her a little bit if I want to. I can ride around with cruise control on all the time. I don't have to worry about varying RPMs and this, that, or the other. I rode with my brother last night. We were just putting around. You know, good time. Tonight I was sitting around, had dinner with my wife, and there's still a little bit of sunlight to burn off, so figured I'd go out and get maybe, I don't know, I think it's like 7 o'clock. I can probably get an hour in before it starts getting too dark. I don't necessarily mind riding at night. I just, the bike and I get covered in bugs, you know, as you start to ride later at night. And yeah, it makes me wish I had a bagger with a windshield, I guess. Or probably any bike with a windshield would be nice sometimes. Yeah, so got the bike back. I can kind of lay into her a little bit now. Rev her past 4,500. You know, no more break-in mile limitations. And they're giving me a little better appreciation for the bike, because this bike revs up to like, I think I hit redline on it one time. I think it's like 6,800. So only been able to run her up to 4,500. You know, I was leaving a third of what this motor had on the table, and you know, she pulls pretty good. You know, I think there's an aerodynamics issue, because it'll go like 100 in third, and then you keep shifting and keep going after that. Like, I think with my big fat butt on it, and you know, not really anything helping cut the wind, it seems to struggle past that. And hey, you might have one of these and you might not be as wide as I am. I'm not a particularly tall guy. I'm like 5'8", but I weigh 250. I don't know, maybe 240. Like 250 when I'm dressed to ride, for sure. So, you know, and I'm kind of, I don't know. I guess I haven't tried, you know, I guess I'd go for like a whole sport bike tuck on it, you know, but I haven't tried that. But, you know, I'd say it very handily goes 100. And if you're talking about speed, you might, if a bike needs a certain amount of speed, I'd say being able to not sportily, like quickly get up to 100 is a desirable thing. I mean, for bad highway situations where cars don't see you, maybe somebody tell you don't need to go that fast. Had a discussion with my grandma the other day that she thinks speeding is like, you know, everybody should be locked away for speeding. You know, I think anybody who's driven a car or ridden a motorcycle long enough is familiar with the semi 18-wheeler scenario where they start coming over into your lane, and you have two options at that point. You either got to grab a lot of brake or you have to speed up. I think a lot of people would say, hey, grab a lot of brake. I don't know. I think grabbing a lot of brake on the interstate comes with a lot of its own risks, because, you know, there are other people on the interstate who may or may not be paying attention, and despite what a lot of people think, sometimes going faster is the safer thing to do. You know, going slow or under the speed limit or suddenly slowing has plenty of its own dangers, I guess I would advocate. I'm not gonna sit here and try to say that speed doesn't have its own set of risks, but I think that plays both directions. But yeah, it does that well. I've gone on several long rides since the one that I went on for the last video, and I'm still pretty happy with it. You know, the seat, I think I may be wearing the seat in a little bit, so me and the seat are becoming a little better acquainted for stuff like what I just went over, because I was talking and not paying attention. Sometimes I wish this thing had a little more suspension, but that's what you get when you buy a bobber motorcycles, you know. I think that's part of it. Is this guy gonna whip out in front of me? Okay. He looked like he was doing that with a kind of quickness where he was gonna put that car right back out in front of me. But he didn't. We're all good. Yeah, I am at, I think last time I was doing a video, I ended up with a little bit over 500 miles on it. I am at 748 miles on it now. I just had to cut my first payment for it today. That was kind of a pain. If I had a ongoing frustration with the purchasing process, is I bought this bike on the 6th of June. I just got the title today, and in the state I'm in, that means I may end up having to pay a fee for late registration or titling on it. That's going to kind of suck. So I'm not really super stoked with how long it took them to get me my title. And then I had a similar issue. As of today, my paperwork when I bought the bike said my first payment was due today, but I'd never received my account information or anything. So today I had to call the financing company, have them give me all my information, and I set up an online account and got my first payment out for it. So yeah, I have my first month of payments on it now, and it didn't hurt how I feel about the bike, having to write a check or having to send $200 away for it today. So I'm still enjoying the purchase. You know, the more painful one will come when I get into the license office, which I don't actually, because of the COVID stuff going on, all the license offices in my area only do appointments, and I missed my appointment on the 30th that I already pre-scheduled, because I was figuring I would get my title in a month. I didn't get a title in a month, and so, or within the month, and I didn't, so I ended up missing that one. So then I just immediately rescheduled for the next closest available one. So basically on the 31st of June, I went to my local license bureau offices and was looking for the next titling appointment, titling a new plate appointment. The next one I could get was the 13th of July. So yeah, even though I have my title, it arrived today, I won't be getting into to handle that until the 13th of, so next Monday, I believe that's when that is. Next Monday or next Tuesday. And I'll have that taken care of. And in the state I'm in, you pay sales tax at the time that you title a vehicle. And so, yeah, that'll be worse than a payment. I think that's going to end up being, I'll have a tax credit from the bike that I sold, but I'll basically be paying 9% tax on $12,000. So that's rounding. It's more finite than that. So I think it's going to end up being like $1,000 I have to hand over, plus well, I'm actually going to be transferring the tags off my old bike, so just a registration fee, because I think they'll just transfer they'll just move my other plates over, so I won't have to pay any license plate fees when I go in. Yeah, so that's the good news. You know, I've had 200 miles where, I'm gonna be honest, I've been, since I was out of break-in time, it's been 200 miles of me driving it excessively rough, I guess. I think would probably be a fair statement. I think I've been a little bit hard on her, you know, mostly because I had to baby her for the first couple weeks, and that was kind of boring. So